Hello, welcome back to the second episode of Let's Talk Football. This is a series where I talk football, obviously by the title, and I keep everyone updated with all the news that they should know. This time I'm going to be talking about what can happen to a club in 10 years. We will be talking about Leicester as they were just recently relegated to League One. 10 years ago, Leicester won the Premier League. This was 2 seasons after coming up from the Championship. The season just before they won it, they were in a relegation battle and they were close to going back down to the Championship. Now, this might seem crazy as, well, for a team who won the Premier League 10 years ago, surely they would still be able to keep their good form. But sadly not. To be fair, they did win a trophy. I think they won the FA Cup and the Community Shield. But from then on, it all went downhill. They went down in the 23-24 season. They came back up in the 24-25 season. Wait, no, sorry. I was wrong there. They went down in the 22-23 season, they came back up in the 23-24 season, and then they went back down in the 24-25 season, and now again in the 25-26 season. This means next season, Leicester will be facing teams in League One, such as
under a bit of pressure here. That's a lovely cut inside.
Such as Luton and other teams. I will also be talking about Wrexham in this episode, as they had a massive promotion, back-to-back promotion, the first team to ever do it in the history of the English football leagues. But for now, let's stay on Leicester. I think this is really bad for them, as financially for them it will be really bad, as they will have way less money to spend in the league, and most of their players will be leaving, the wages will have to drop, and everything like that. I think it was bad enough that they went straight back down to the Championship, but now that they're in League One, I think it's really going to hurt them. I don't think they'll be able to make it into the Premier League anytime soon, even if they do come back up next season. Now, I think the momentum of Leicester is just gone. I think if they win their first few matches next season, they'll be doing well. But if they lose one of their first matches, I don't think it will be as easy as a title race as they want it to be. Now,
perfectly anticipated, really well won. Justin.
Now, it seems crazy to me that they got relegated this season, not only because they were in the Premier League last season, but it's the fact that they were third near the start of the season, yet somehow they ended up finishing 23rd, and Oxford being above them, and the only team below them was Sheffield Wednesday on 0 points. Now, I'm not sure if Sheffield Wednesday did finish on 0 points. That is the last. That's how many points they were on last time I checked. I will check just in a second. However, they shouldn't really be finishing that low. The fact that it had to be a team that had negative points during the season to finish below them is not good enough for the club. The club needs to do better, and their players need to work harder. Otherwise, they might not make it back to the Championship. I also don't think it is always the players. Sometimes it's the manager I don't really know what's going on with them right now, but they really shouldn't be in the Championship relegation zone, as they used to be a Premier League team literally last season, and that is not a good look for them. So if they don't get back into the Championship next season, I think they might stay in League One for a while. I also think for the footballing world this is going to be a big shock, as Leicester have been in the Premier League so many times, and it's only been last 3 seasons that they've not been doing very well. This also means like big rivalries between Leicester and Southampton, as I'm showing here in FC25, and other rivalries Leicester have will no longer happen, as they won't get the chance to play against them as they are in the lower leagues, and their rivals most of their rivals are in higher leagues than them. This will mean less people coming to the matches and less players and less people buying tickets and season tickets for the club, which means less money again. Now, this is really bad for them, as they don't want to have zero money. They lost their best player last season, Jamie Vardy. He left the club to go to play in America, so they can't rely on him as much now, and they don't seem to have a good enough defence to stop the opposition from scoring many goals. Now this might change in League One depending on the stats of the players in the league already, but I do think they need to find replacements quickly, otherwise they might be in trouble. I do genuinely think Leicester are a Premier League club, but I think they've just dropped off these last few seasons, so if they can make their way back into the Prem, I reckon they will stay there for a while. However, they need to act quick, otherwise it might be a longer wait than they want it to be. Now, going back to the Sheffield Wednesday and what points they were on compared to Leicester, Sheffield Wednesday did finish on 0 points and minus 60 goal difference, but that is no excuse for Leicester to finish in the relegation and not at the bottom of the table. Sheffield Wednesday were hit by some major point deductions, and although it was 18, who knows what could have happened. They might have had the momentum to go and maybe even stay above Leicester. So they really do need to look at this season, think what they can improve on, and hopefully improve next season. If they don't, then they are, like I said many times before, in deep trouble. Now, in the last 10 seasons, Leicester have finished 1st, 12th, 9th, 5th, 8th, 18th, 1st and 18th, not including the 25-26 season. In the 2015 to 2016 season, they finished 1st, obviously winning the Premier League. In the 2016 to 2017 season, they finished 12th, and they got to the Champions League quarter-finals. In the 2017-2018 season, they finished 9th. In the 2018-2019 season, they also finished 9th, getting a stable top half finish. In 2019-20 season, they finished 5th and returned to European competition. In 2020-2021, they finished 5th and were the FA Cup winners. In 2021-2022, they finished 8th but won the Community Shield. In 2022 to 2023, they finished 18th and were relegated from the Premier League, just one season after they won the Community Shield.
Doubled up for the day.
In the 2023 to 2024 season, however, they finished first in the Championship and were promoted. They were champions with 97 points. In the 2024 to 2025 season, last season, they finished 18th and were relegated again. And in the 2025 to 2026 season, they finished 23rd in the Championship and were relegated back to back. We will find out where they finish next season and how well they do. Although I'm not sure if they'll make it out into the Championship unless they really do lock in. So we will see what happens, and if they get promoted, I'll keep you updated. Now moving on to Wrexham, I will first tell you where they finished in all of the seasons in the National League and above. In the first season, the 2015 to 2016 season, they finished 8th in the National League. In 2016 to 2017, they finished 13th and were still in the non-league. 2017 to 2018 season, they finished 10th, still not being able to get out of the Conference League, the National League. In 2018 to 2019, they finished 4th, but missed out in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. In the 2019 to 2020 season, they finished 19th and were in the lowest ever league position they have ever finished, other than the times they've been relegated. Now, in the 2020 to 2021 season, they finished 8th, and that was the season Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney bought the club. Now, later the next season, they finished 2nd and got to the playoff semi-finals, but missed out on promotion. But the next season, they brought it back, they picked themselves up, and they finished 1st, winning the non-league and gaining automatic promotion. This was great for the club, as they had been in non-league for such a long time already, that when they were promoted, they were so happy. This momentum gave them enough energy and excitement to then go and finish 2nd in League 2 the next season, meaning they got automatic promotions again. The next season, they finished 2nd again and automatic promotion. The 25-26 season, though, they finished 7th, and that was the highest finish in their club history. However, they missed out on the playoffs by 1 spot by a controversial offside Hull goal. Now, they've had a bad history with playoffs anyway, so we don't know if they would have won or not. However, I don't think they need to worry about this season, as it was their first season in the Championship, and they have done so well to get to the Championship already. So I think they need to look at this season and see how well they've done to actually get to this point, and then look to improve next season. As it wasn't that long ago where they were 6th and they were finishing in the playoffs. However, when Southampton won their few games in hand, that meant they lost out on their playoff position. Now, I don't know how Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney have done it, yet they have somehow made this club get to the Championship in just 4 seasons. And get to the 7th spot in the Championship in just 4 seasons. Now this is crazy, as no one has ever completed back-to-back promotions, yet Wrexham did it this last season they got their final promotion to reach that unbelievable mark. Now, I think it's crazy how they have reached this point, and I think they should keep going, and it's possible for them to get into the Premier League. I think with the new promotions next season, they might have a better chance at gaining that promotion. However, Wolves being relegated and Burnley and either West Ham or Tottenham might make it a bit harder. So this season might have been their only season to get there if they wanted to get there in 2 seasons. But they have done extremely well, and I think next season they have a good chance to finish in playoffs or automatic promotion. I think they have a higher chance of getting playoffs than automatics, as with Burnley, West Ham, Wolves, or West Ham or Tottenham, sorry, it's not confirmed, going down, I think either West Ham or Tottenham will win the league, and then it will be Burnley getting automatics or Wolves. Now, this will be bad for Wrexham as they'd have to face playoffs, but I still think it's possible for them to do it. This improvement in just 4 seasons has been crazy, and they really do deserve to be up there in that championship 7th position. They are there for a reason. They have won all their games for a reason. So if they keep playing how they've been playing this season, then I think it's possible for them to go up. Now, this would be great for the club. However, I'm not sure how far the Hollywood money will get them, as they don't have as much money as big clubs in the Prem like City, Arsenal or Liverpool do. So they might not be able to stay in the Premier League with the financial amount of money they have at this point. But I do think it will be great if they get to the Premier League and their fans and club can experience it for the first time, experience the top division in English football, not even the Premier League. I think they got relegated before the Premier League was invented. So it will be great for them to experience the top division in English football once again after so many years of being in the National League. Now, I don't know if they will do it or not, if this season they just got lucky or if it truly was skill. I think it was. The football they played was great. I went to one of the matches and they only barely just lost in like the last few minutes, and it was sad for them. Obviously I wanted my club to win, so it wasn't sad for me. However, it was good, it was great, and I think if they keep their heads up and look and think positively about this season, as they have done extremely well to go from National League to 7th in the Championship, then I think their players will be happy enough and have enough momentum to go and get promoted. Now, the one problem, like I said, is financial problems, and I think it will be hard for them, but still, I think they could do it, because even if players don't go there because the money, there will also be that part where it's like, oh, it will be a great atmosphere, the clubs, the fans love the club, and the fact that they've had this Hollywood Hollywood story-esque journey where they got back-to-back promotion, I think players will want to play for them, as it will be great to experience. So they always have that kind of going for them, but I'm still not sure, because if they can't get good players for next season, obviously they have brilliant players for the Championship right now, but if they can't get good enough players for next season, I'm not sure I say next season, I mean if they get into the Prem, if they don't get enough players or
Here's the replay, and
good
it's a
players,
definite own goal.
I'm not
It
sure
must be
they'll be able to
frustrating
stay up.
concede like that. It's quite
This is
unfortunate, really.
bad for them, as they might just end up being a yo-yo club, and that might make the fans a bit more
This
sad
is a positive
and
looking move.
go to less games. But at the same time, those seasons where they are in the Prem and playing big clubs like Man City or Arsenal, Liverpool, the Big Six,
The hard work
their
pays off.
fans
They've
will
got the
want
ball.
to see that, and more people will come to those games.
Comeback could be on here. It's in.
Now,
Oh,
if they
lead it
can
now,
manage
and
to
they're
get
not out of this
to
game
the
yet.
Prem or
Well, here's the
stay
replay, and
in
it's
the
a
form
nice
that they
through
are
ball
in
to
right
split the
now,
defence. And
I
what a
think it will be
finish.
good
The
for them,
pace, the
and I
power,
think
it was
they are a
never in
championship
doubt.
club
He
right
just looked
now.
so confident running through.
So I genuinely think if they can keep their form, ignore this season, or even look at it and think, yeah, we did great this season,
Rodriguez.
they aren't going to be leaving the championship anytime soon. If they do, I will be surprised, and I don't know how or why that would happen. So I'm just not sure if they're going to make it to the Prem or not.
And any chance is gone.
This is probably where I'm going to end off the video, unless I add in a note, an editor's note at the end. But thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe or anything like that. Like, comment. It will help me and help me get into the algorithm. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time when I have more updates. Also, I have been posting YouTube shorts if you want to go check them out. It's about smaller things, well, not really smaller things, but things that I might not make a full episode on about. So they're just smaller versions of Let's Talk Football, and I can tell you football news and all that. But other than that, I think that's it. Thanks for watching if you are. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. See you next episode.